Hello, everybody. It's me. How's it going? I'm so excited to be here. I don't have long today because I'm in the middle of a catalog and I got to get my work done. However, I wanted to come back on really quick and thank you for all the support and all the love. I have the next video laid out. So the glass jewelry video is coming. I today was going to do a video on my vintage purses. So I laid out 7 of them because I had promised that I would bring them on because I did that poll and like a month ago or whatever, or a couple weeks ago, and you had all voted on the Art Nouveau video, and so many of you have responded to the vintage purses. So I laid out vintage purses, and then I found some treasures inside of one that I wanted to talk about specifically. So just a quick overview of some of the vintage purses that I'm going to bring into the next video, because the treasures I found in the one lucite box purse I had to discuss today. So I just felt like I had to. This one is a sterling silver mesh and tasseled bag. This is, I believe, from Austria on this one. And look at the condition of the fringe and the beaded work on the bottom. It feels like fabric. That mesh is so beautiful and so in such fantastic condition. One tiny little hole there, but that's to be expected. But look at the fringe. The fringe is totally complete, feels like silk. And then I loved this overlay design on this bag. And then it opens very cool. Look how it opens. So it swings open with the bail handle, and then it's hallmarked on the inside. I think, yeah, there's a series of marks there. And there's a series of marks, I think, on the other side for silver content. But I love this bag. Look how gigantic it is. It's huge. It's just a monster of a bag. And I loved the applied fringe and then these beaded tassels and kind of that beadwork on the bottom. I will be bringing that back in a future video on the vintage purse collection. This one I always found to be quite unusual. It's cats, figural cats, that are holding the strap, and it's accented with little rhinestones and then a double cat closure. It's like that kiss closure where the 2 cats bypass each other, and then you open it this way. And it's got the leather body on the inside for the bag portion. And look at the cats. Look at the detail. They have little red eyes inside of the cats. And the oxidation can be cleaned, but look how they beaded the bag with turquoise glass beads. And yes, there are some minor losses of the turquoise beads, but look at that cat handle. It's fantastic. Boy, my screen is sure dirty. I hope it's not. I'm trying to get this off of the screen. I hope it doesn't pick up in the video, but my screen is really dirty today. Hopefully it doesn't come through on the video. So there's that. And then we have a third one, which is one of the beaded ones. And I'm really well known for my beaded purse collection. And this is just one of them. Look at that Art Nouveau beauty. And unfortunately, the camera isn't able to pick up the color, but it's the most lush royal blue. So velveteen in color, but that's all cut steel. So all these little beads are cut steel beads that were then colored and then sewn together in this amazing whiplash pattern. Look how large the bag is. It never had fringe on the bottom like most. The next one I'll show you has fringe on the bottom, but look at the condition of this bag. It is absolutely beautiful. And this one would be right at the turn of the century, maybe around 1900. At the very newest, it would be 1915. But it's got that push button closure. So this little button and an ormolu bronze frame that is so beautifully done. And this little tiny pole on the end. Look at the attention to detail on the frame. I will be bringing this back for a close-up in the actual purse video, but this is kind of a sneak peek because I felt like I owed it to you. I guess I'll do this one next because I just mentioned it. So look at the size of this. What on earth? It's considered a carpet bag made in the style of the Persian and Oriental rugs back in the day. And again, this one's all cut steel beads and they're all dyed. And I wish the color would come through a little bit more true because it's so lush and it's gold, earth tones, beautiful gray, like a steely gray color, almost like a platinum gray as well. So there's certain tonalities in the bag that the camera's just not picking up. But look at the fringe, almost totally complete cut steel fringe on the bottom, almost entirely complete. There's a little loss there. That's just loose. That needs to be reattached. But the fringe is always the first thing to go on these bags. It's always the first thing to let loose. But look at that. Just incredible craft and a time, like a gone by era of craftsmanship, because these are completely constructed by hand. These are completely hand loomed and completely beaded by hand. This one is from France, and it also has the push button mechanism. So you push this little plunger down and then the bag does open. And on the inside, it's signed, I'm glad I said French. I haven't seen this bag for a while. And it says right on here, import, and it says French steel. So there's the French label on the inside. Look at that satin lining. The satin lining is complete, and this passementerie trim that holds the inside of the bag to the frame. The attention to detail to put these together was a labor of love. These things are, again, from a gone by era. And I think this one, yeah, this one has the little mirror on the inside. So it's got a little bifold mirror on the inside. And I think it's got, I thought it had maybe a little coin purse down on the inside, but I'm losing track of these because I haven't seen them for so long. But we're getting to the point of the video. We'll be there in just a second. So there's that one. I'll be bringing all these back, so don't worry. I'll get into further explanations about them. Let me scoot that out of the way. This was in one of my short feeds, and it's a recent acquisition, and it's a newer purse. It's not new by any stretch, but from the 1950s, late 1950s, laminated lucite, confetti lucite, what we call confetti lucite, a beautiful clasp and absolutely wonderful on the inside. So look at the condition. This would have had a mirror in place in these plastic corners, like almost those old photo corners back in the day. And look, it looks like I'm coming out of the purse. I love that. Maybe that'll be my screenshot for this video for the thumbnail. So anyways, I'm so easily distracted. But I love this bag. There is wear on the handle, but look at the rhinestone medallions that hold this handle onto this bag. Honest wear on the handle. Didn't mind that at all. I could replate it. I just don't think I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna leave it just the way it is. And what's great about this bag, no cracks, no chips, no odor, and no chemical problems. Because some of these bags, if stored incorrectly, we'll get into storage on these, if stored incorrectly, they warp, and then they have an odor when you open them. That means that the bag is sick and likely going to decompose over time. And I've had several bags that had the slight odor, and within a few years they were warped and completely leaching a oily substance. And I'll get into that when we talk about lucite box purses, how to store them, keep them out of sunlight, keep them out of humidity. You shouldn't have a problem. Sometimes people will put the silica packs on the inside to keep humidity out of the inside. I don't necessarily think that's necessary on some of them, but look at that. So I loved that one. That was in one of my short feeds from the antique shop that I went to, and I had to have that. Again, I forgot to thank you for being here, so thank you so much for being here. Another lucite purse, and I need to clean this one up. It's been stored in my stuff for a long time, but this is gold confetti lucite. Look at the shape of this purse, and look, it's completely transparent. So when you look through, the sides are carved, reverse carved lucite, and look at the little tiny plastic feet. All 4 plastic feet are intact. I loved that confetti lucite through the whole body of the bag, and then a clear top. How dramatic and how fantastic with the bypass handles in incredible condition. Again, I'll clean this up and I'll bring it back, but I loved this bag. And the condition of the clasp, again, when you check these, make sure they open really well. I think this is Patricia of Miami. Let me make sure that I'm telling you correct. It is. It's Patricia of Miami. Oops. And look at the inside, how clean this is. Really fantastic on the inside. There's something so incredible about these bags because think about it, in the 50s and into the 60s, the 50s were so conservative. so conservative in so many ways of even fashion. They were very conservative. But look at that bag. That is the farthest thing from conservative. It's amazing. It's a piece of wearable sculpture that had a function, and it's the perfect size to hold a cell phone today. It's the perfect size to hold everything that you need. So these bags are so incredibly useful even today. But I just love the form of this one. I love the lines. I love the handles. I love the proportion. Smaller bag, dramatic handles. How cool is that? It's just so incredibly cool. So there's that one. And here's the one that caused the problem. Here's the one that caused the problem for today's video. This is one of the most incredible lucite purses I have yet to see. Whenever I had this anywhere, it stopped everyone in their path. It stopped every collector of just random things and every antique dealer. Reverse carved top in a diamond kind of quilted pattern. So those are marquee shaped and they're carved from the inside, but look how they look like it's a jeweled top. It's not jewels, it's not rhinestones, it's carved from the inside. And that pushback of light that I talk about so many times is so evident in this bag. And on the inside is where we're headed to the light box in just a second. So look at those rhinestones. And then it's framed in blue rhinestones prong set, and then Aurora Borealis rhinestones in 3 rows on the both top and bottom, and then the most glowing tiles of mother of pearl. Look at it, and it's decorated 360 degrees. 360. It is completely covered. The bottom is clear plastic, and this, the Crown Royal bag, I use those for storage all the time. I've talked about that before, and it's got its swing handle. Look how magnificent this bag is. I've always loved this. It's so over the top. It's so avant-garde. It's one of the best I've ever seen. And when you open this up, this is what we're headed to the light box to talk about, is what's in the container, this cloth bag. That's what we're headed over to the light box to talk about. But this lucite purse, I wish I could just do the video on lucite purses today and my purse collection. So many more to show you, like heaping piles more to show you. Again, I didn't stop at anything with my collections, so purses coming soon. Very soon. That was kind of just the teaser video for it. But we're going over to Lightbox to talk about what was in this that was stored inside of that lucite purse. Wait 1 second. I'll be right back with you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it very much. Well, you officially made it back to my Lightbox with me. And yes, look at this. Absolutely gorgeous. And I mean gorgeous. Enameled, engine turned, and fired on glass enamel miniature clock. Incredible craft. This is made in Switzerland, and it is solid sterling silver. There it is. And I guess, again, my advantage to my videos is I'll show you the front, the back, the hallmarks, the inside, anything you want to see. I will always show you in my videos. And look at the bottom of this. Look at this, the way it's hallmarked, all of the different maker's marks and all of the different hallmarks. I will get into future videos on hallmarks. You wind it here, which I don't ever wind these, but you wind it here and the clock then starts. It is made to look like a miniature carriage clock, like an antique miniature carriage clock. Look at the little bun feet. This is tiny. You have to understand, look at the size of my hand, and then look at the size of this tiny little clock. It is miniature. It is tiny. The little swing bail handle made out of sterling silver. That amazing engine turned enamel. So look at underneath how it looks like rays of light going through water. And I've said that before, but that's the best way to describe this. That is fired on glass enamel, and we expect to see so much damage on these, and yet there is no damage on this to speak of. A very fine white border. The attention to detail. Look how small the face is. It's the size of my index fingernail. It's tiny. It's so little, but the craft that it took to put this together. So there's that one. And I'll scoot, I'll scoot it out of the frame for right now. And then we'll go with this one. What, what is happening? I know. I feel so spoiled when I show such beautiful things. Very similar on the engine turned enamel. So you've got that, and just really fantastic craft. And this opalescent glass enamel in bright pink. There's a few little minor chips, one right there, one right there, and this side is in really great condition. I am astounded by these miniature treasures, but this does work like a full grown clock, if you will. Again, made in the carriage clock style with the swing bail handle, and it's just incredible. Incredible. I don't know what else to say. I know I say incredible all the time, but look at the screws that hold it together. Miniature screws that were made by a jeweler to hold this all together. Appropriately hallmarked with the argent, silver hallmark, and a model number of 161. I've yet to figure out the maker's mark. I still have not ever done research on that. And then the GS, oops, let's stay focused. The GS, let me zoom in a little bit more. The GS is the actual artist, I believe, that produced this. And then all of the silver marks and the date letters down here. Haven't done research on those to see exactly when this was made, but wait till you see. So you open it this way. Look at that. Look at the inside. So beautifully, beautifully executed. Everything is miniature. The works are made like a pocket watch. They're like a pocket watch size. And then this, you wind it with this winder, and then you put this back down. I marvel at these. I've never really kind of figured out why I got so lucky to get so many of them, but I feel very blessed. And there's the maker's mark again, and the silver hallmark. We'll go over those eventually. Just didn't have time to write it all down today and bring it back to you. So Swiss made on the works and Swiss made on the case. Made in Switzerland on the case on this one. And so the wind is there, but also here is the key. One of the keys goes to, let me see here, because I have the original keys. Why wouldn't I? This key goes to this one right there. So that slips on there. Let's see. Maybe it's this one. I think it is. Yeah, it's this one. Oops. I can't do this, in the box and watching a video. Yeah, that's the one. So that goes on there, and then it turns this to then run the watch. So just it's outstanding. I lose my train of thought when I bring these on. So there's those two, and then there is this one. This is just as beautiful. Let me scoot these out of the way. And thank you again so much for joining me today. This is incredible. Again, Swiss made. Look at the dark blue cobalt enamel. Sterling silver. Again, miniature in size. I think this one is 2¼ inches tall, but made to look like a mantle clock. Made to look like an antique mantle clock. I think circa dating on all of these is between 1910 and 1921, from what I remember from my initial looking at them. And then this one, let's see how this one, oh yeah, this one opens this way. Never want to force anything. So look at that. Incredible. And then this one works, yeah, this other key, I think it's this key that works this one. Let's see. Yep, that's the key to work this one. So that slips down on there, and then you wind it that way. You can control how fast and slow it goes with this little needle right there. Swiss made works. Swiss made case, and breathtaking. And you can see the counter enamel. I covered that before on enamel. The counter enamel then holds the enameled surface to the front, so that helps the cooling process so it doesn't warp and pop the enamel off. But look how beautifully done this is. Tiny little chip here. We forgive that, absolutely. But look at the way that enamel is handled. Dark cobalt blue, so expertly executed, and a miniature. There are the hallmarks on the bottom of this one. So the craft on these, I know how difficult it is to make things in sterling, and I know how difficult it is to make them miniature. There's those three. And just when you thought it couldn't get any better, there is the world's smallest. This one is a fraction. Look how little it is in my hands. It's sterling silver and glassy enamel in yellow, bright, bright sunshine yellow. And I don't think I ever got into this one, but you wind it here, appropriate hallmarks here. The bun feet again, soldered on and soldered in place. A tiny little chip on the enamel. And again, as a purist collector, I do forgive that. It makes sense to me that there would be a little bruise. Some people say that this was made for a dollhouse. And I can't confirm or deny that. Sometimes these were just objects of virtue. These were just a novelty that extremely wealthy people would afford. And I loved the sun ray design on the back. Just so carefully done and so beautifully executed. So there you go. That's going to be my video for today. Oh, and value on these. Boy, that's a little bit tough to discuss in this. And I'm sure most of you are saying, please tell us the value, tell us the value. When you find these, they now start in the, well, conservatively, the $600 to $800 range, and they could go up to, well, $1,200 to $1,500, depending on where they are sold and how they are marketed. But they all work, and I was so glad that I still had the keys. That was amazing to me that I still had the keys handy. And I will tuck these back into their tissue because they're each individually wrapped up, and I will get them back into their safekeeping inside the Lucite purse. So today's video, enameled miniature clocks and Lucite purses and vintage beaded bags. So kind of a conglomerate video, but that's what I wanted to show today. So thank you for allowing me into your life. I, again, so appreciate every single person that is here. You have made me so incredibly happy, and future videos coming very, very soon, so stay tuned. You won't want to miss any of them, I promise you. Thank you again so much for everything you do for me. I love you so much.